Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel on data engineering. So in today's video, I'll be explaining what is a database, and I'll be explaining what are the different databases we have and what are the types of data. And in the end of the video, I'll be introducing what is SQL and why is SQL used by data engineers. So what is a database? A database is something where you store large amounts of data, where you collect large amounts of data from various sources, then you store within a database, and you do data manipulations, and you also fetch data when necessary. So now coming to there are different kinds of databases as well. So first I'll explain you what is within a database. So in a database, coming to schemas, schemas are nothing but they are like a blueprint to a database. So if you take this bookstore database example, so here a schema defines the contents of a database. Like if you see this, all the square blocks, you can see there are different labels over here: books, order item, orders, customers, inventory, authors, publishers. So it contains, so each block contains its relevant information. So think of this like a table. So in a database, there are different tables associated, and so all these tables are interlinked with their primary keys. So I'll be explaining about what are primary keys, what are foreign keys, what are data types in the coming videos. So this is the basic example of what is within a database. So moving on to what are the types of databases. So out in the market, we have different databases. So we have something called a relational database, non-relational database, and cloud databases. So moving on to what is a relational database. So a database which stores information in the form of structured format, in the form of tables. So in a table, we have columns and rows, and we have multiple tables within a relational database, and these tables are interlinked and they are connected with each other. So in order to fetch information from these databases, we have SQL. So I'll be explaining what is SQL in the coming part. So now coming to non-relational databases, the databases where information that is stored other than the tabular forms. Like take for example unstructured and semi-structured data. So for these kinds of data to be stored, we have something called a NoSQL database. So a database which can handle semi-structured and unstructured data like texts, images, or videos. So these kinds of data which are in the form of documents. So all these kinds of data are stored in the non-relational databases. So cloud databases are something which are offered by the cloud platforms out in the market. So they are often with high scalability and managed services. And there are various cloud providers like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. So cloud databases are Amazon RDS, Google Cloud Firestone. So these are some examples of the cloud databases. So now moving on to the next topic, the types of data. So as I was telling, a structured data is stored in a relational database, well, and an unstructured and semi-structured data is stored in a non-relational database. So again, a structured data is something, if you say, take examples, there are many applications. If you take the medical sector or the financial sector or many applications, websites, so they all have a structured data. So if you take an example of applications, so they store your personal information like your name, phone number, email ID, passwords. So all these are stored in a relational database. So if, while coming to unstructured and semi-structured data, there are different kinds of data like JSON files, XML files. You have your images, texts, videos, some audio files. So all these comes under semi-structured and unstructured data. So to handle these kinds of data, we have non-relational databases like MongoDB, Cassandra. Then we have CosmoDB. Yeah, so these are the different types of data. So now coming to what is SQL and why is it used by data engineers? So SQL is simply called a structured query language where it is used to manage relational databases. So if you want to fetch some data or if you want to insert data into a database or if you want to say update the database or if you want to remove some data from a database. So you use SQL. So it's like a simple English language, but you have to say remember some keywords or some functions to fetch the data. If you take a real world example, if you see like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, all these applications. So they store your personal information, right? Like every person has a unique account. So say for example, if you're trying to log into your account, when you enter your ID and password and you click on login, you just log in. So how is this done? Like when you click on your credentials and you click on login, so what happens is the application hits the backend server, the SQL database, and it sends your information to SQL database. So there the queries are written, like it selects star from the table name, like wherever your account information is stored. So it checks whether you have entered the correct information or not and hits back the application. And when you click on login, if you have entered the correct details, then you'll log into your account. So this is what happens between you, that is you're the client, and the backend, that is the SQL server. So this is how SQL is used in the real world scenarios. So now coming to why is SQL used by data engineers? So they perform basic data retrieval and manipulation tasks. Like if you want to retrieve any information, say if you want to select a particular record from a database, you write SQL queries, select from, and you apply some filters like where, then you do some aggregations like group by, order by, or min max. So these are all the functions and keywords. I'll be explaining what are all these in the next video. Coming to what is manipulation. So manipulation is like if a data scientist or a data analyst wants some tables information to be removed. Say if he wants to remove some columns, like that is not required. So you perform data manipulations like alter table or delete column. Uh, like you have different syntax and keywords for that. So that is what data manipulation is. And data integrity and security is also one of the important factors while you query data from a database. In this video, I have covered what is a database, what are different kinds of database we have, and I have also explained what are the different types of data. And in the end, I have covered what is SQL and why do data engineers use SQL to perform all the queries. This is the end of the video. So in the next video, I'll be explaining what are the different SQL commands we have. I'll also explain what are the different data types in SQL. I'll be introducing you to PostgreSQL. Like I'll be explaining the interface. How do you create a database? How to create tables and columns? How do you write the basic queries? I'll be explaining all this with an example. Like I'll insert a CSV file and I'll be doing hands-on explanation. So if you have any doubts, please ask them in the comment section. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching.